Hi, this is Tex Talk reporting for the Filipino Student Alumni Association of Florida. And I have here one of my good friends, Varick Rosete. And it's been, gosh, how long have we known each other?
College.
It's college. How long ago was that? That was in the 90s.
It was in the
mid-90s. Mid-90s. And so...
Def Talent Jam.
Yep, Def Talent Jam.
Traveling.
Traveling back and forth from Orlando to Jacksonville. Yep. That's how
Always partying.
Yep. Not so much anymore.
Not so much anymore.
But we remember those days,
yeah.
and those are real good days.
Yeah.
And so the reason why we're having this conversation, discussion today is talking about, basically what Varick does and his projects and, how important FSA is. So we'll start again. What do you do?
What do I do? Well, I'm Varick Rosete. I like to just simply put it that I'm a designer. I started out as a graphic designer working in the advertising field, and I did that for a couple of years, and then I left because I wanted to do something new, so I taught myself how to do the web, which was coming out around that same time, started a company, and I did that for about 5-6 years, and then I left that because I wanted to get back to regular design, so I wanted to do a little bit more, so I incorporated my illustration work as well. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I left that to get back to where I am now, which is I'm an art director in a production video animation house right now. Because ultimately in the end, all I wanted to do was just draw cartoons and stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now, among many other things.
Talking about many other things, I think one of the things that you've told me, off camera, of all these projects that you have. What are those? What are the things that you're doing right now?
Well, the big one right now that we're doing is One Spark, which is a 5-day, 17, 18, 19. Sorry,
it's okay.
5-day.
You're working hard. You can see that.
A 5-day festival coming up in Jacksonville in April 2013, and we're claiming it as the world's first crowdfunding festival. Which, if any of you guys are familiar with Kickstarter, it's an online fundraising app that helps you collect money, collect funds, collect supporters so that you can help fund your project, an idea that you have. And so what we've done is taken the idea of that and just put it into a physical sense. So imagine almost like a fair, again, like a World's Fair kind of thing, except everyone there is showing something because they want you to help support what they're doing. So whether they're an artist that has a whole new gallery setup, or they're trying some whole new experimental medium, or if they're a scientist and they've got the newest breakthrough on clean fuel, they could be designing a mobile app, or even a musician that wants to go from heavy metal to something orchestral. The idea is they're doing something a little bit different and they need help from the crowd. So they're coming out, to the streets of downtown Jacksonville, and they're going to be showing off what they've got so that the people can help support their needs.
Okay.
That's the big thing that's coming up. I'm also part of Co-work Jacks, which is where we are right now in the space.
Right.
It's one of the first co-working spaces in Jacksonville. Basically, we're in a time where lots of businesses are letting people go, and those people that go are wanting to start their own thing. So we're trying to give them a place to start up. So Co-work Jacks is another thing that I'm part of. AIGA Jacksonville, Professional Association for Design. I'm big on design and design thinking. Just the way that you think about how a problem can be solved, or how any kind of situation can be taken care of. Design, everything that you look at has been designed. It's been thought out from concept to fulfillment at the end. And then I also work on side projects, as well as starting up a mobile app called Roster, where we're helping out student athletes get picked up by colleges.
Oh, wow.
That one is ramping up pretty fast. But yeah, I do many things to satisfy my appetite for doing stuff.
It's funny that you say that the appetite of doing stuff, especially with obviously these other projects and then One Spark. When we talk about is it crowdsourcing or crowdfunding?
It's crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding.
Did I say crowdsourcing?
I can't remember.
It is crowdfunding,
So,
because crowdsourcing is something I don't agree in.
Okay.
But crowdfunding is something I do.
So once they come to the festival, which is coming up in April, mid-April, correct?
Yes.
So it's mid-April, so come to Jacksonville.
April 17th through 21.
Did you hear that? April 17th through 21.
Yeah.
If you think it's hot now in January, it's going to be really hot over there. But that's okay. It's going to be hot because we have One Spark. Get it? One Spark. It's going to be hot. Anyway, so with this crowdfunding, once these particular creators, musicians, innovators come in, what is going to be happening during those couple of days? And how does it happen where this crowdfunding is going to be able to benefit those folks that are there?
So what's cool about the event is that downtown Jacksonville is going through a change, and there's a whole bunch of us that are part of this change that we want to help mold Jacksonville into the next big city that it used to be. So in the 5 days that One Spark is happening, all these creators are coming downtown, and they're being matched up with venues downtown. So what we're producing is basically foot traffic. So where they're getting into these venues downtown, some of them are empty spaces, some of them are already established like jewelry stores or restaurants. But creators can go in there and they set up their booth, they set up whatever they need to set up, and then they start to bring in the people so that people can see what they're doing, much for like a science fair or something along those lines. So that happens during the day. Then at night, those creators that are musicians or entertainers will have an entertainment district right next to like our core area of downtown, where the idea of One Spark continues on through the evening. But pretty much that's what we're banking on, is that people be coming downtown, getting into the store, so they're checking out the space. I saw it firsthand with a project called Art Prize up in Grand Rapids. It's basically Art Prize is basically a gallery in the middle of downtown Grand Rapids, and they use the space all in downtown. So I remember walking to a shoe store, and there was all this artwork, and while you're looking at this artwork, you're also looking at shoes. It's like, hey, while I'm here, I can put in a vote.
More bang for your buck.
Exactly. You can put in a vote for like a awesome piece of art, and then check out the dude's shoes, and then pick something up, or vice versa. Pick up some coffee from a restaurant. Like you're checking out the stuff, and you're also experiencing that venue space as well. So it's really getting people out of where they're used to going, and just thinking about downtown in a whole other way as well.
That's awesome. With One Spark, how did that idea come about?
It's a great story with One Spark because it's transitioned so many different ways. It started out with myself, Elton Rivas, and Dennis Eusebio. Just one of those things that we were in a coffee shop kind of thing, and it was a time when a lot of our friends were moving out of town because they weren't getting the support that they needed to get, when they wanted to do startup businesses here, or they had an idea that they didn't just have the resources to do it here, so they would leave. So we were just thinking in our heads, like, why are people leaving? What can we do to help keep it here, or at least make some kind of noise to let people know that there are people here who are creating awesome things, and we need to keep them here, so that it only helps build the idea of Jacksonville. Because going off to San Francisco or New York, or even like Austin, LA, like those places are already like high urban areas, and that they have a lot of course they have the resources there, but like, isn't it much more fun to build it? Let's help build the culture here as well. So, we came up with the concept of One Spark, and was just talking about like innovation happening here in Jacksonville, and we would just like write up articles and go to things and just like let people know that Jacksonville is a pretty kick-ass town. It's a great place to live and a great place to create something. So we want to get that word out. And then there was a time when we were actually looking to do a multi-city conference between us and Tampa starting out. And at that same time, there's a group called the Epic Project that was wanting to do this great, innovative ideas creation conference kind of thing here in town as well. So we pretty much just like merged, and that's how it turned into this festival that's going to be happening April 17th through 21.
Wow, that's some amazing stuff that you've heard firsthand from one of the creators.
That's in the span of a year, practically.
Yeah. So that and you see how it evolved. You never know what you're gonna get, and just to have this come to fruition for these guys, it's very exciting. And since we're talking about having people come to an event like this, it almost feels that we want to make Jacksonville and everybody who's coming here like a family. So I'm going to segue into we'll talk about another family that how we met was FSA, Filipino Student Association. Mm-hmm. So as being alumni of FSA and our respective FSAs, why is it important to join a club like that?
FSA was it was an easy thing at first because Filipinos you click, mm-hmm. you get in your cliques first off in college and everything, and then from there you just start hanging out a little bit more, and it becomes a family, a secondary family, your college family, your family away from home. You get a lot of brothers and sisters, and once you graduate, you still have that family because everyone's just a little bit more grown up, and you see each other, and just
and they have kids, and they're a little bit older and a little slower, but we still got it up here,
still connecting, which is the great thing because you are a family going through college all together at the same time, experiencing, helping each other out the whole way. You learn a lot from being an FSA, and I know I took a lot away from FSA, especially doing One Spark and everything else that I'm doing. Right. It all started from the core of getting into the organization and just feeling it around and learning people skills and all that, networking as well. Right.
So being involved is super important.
Oh yeah, being involved is super important. What we always say is you get what you put in, right, kind of thing. So. Mm-hmm. If you don't do anything, then what would you expect back? Right. You got to really get out there and just meet some of the people and get involved with a lot of the stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Knowing that as students and doing what you're doing, how did going to school and going to FSA and knowing that after you graduate you're getting into the things that you're getting to? Did you ever think that? Here we go, 15 years later, I'd be doing something like this?
I'd have to say, in a way, I did imagine what I'm doing right now, only because, I've got the passion, the drive to right. want to keep doing this thing. I actually have some friends who are in the design program who are Filipino that, get their family talking back with them and saying you should do something more stable, go into business, be a nurse or be a doctor or dentist or something, which is fine, it's good, but if your kid doesn't have the passion and they have the talent to go forward, help support that, because they're driven, and I was lucky enough that my parents followed up on that because in a sense it comes back full circle anyways, because being a designer myself, I ended up starting handful of businesses right. on my own and learning how to deal with that other side. So it does come back, but I'm still a designer, but you still have to learn how to do business stuff.
All right. Yeah. So as alumni, being who we are, is it important that us alumni give back to the FSAs today? Oh,
I totally agree. I'd love to reach out more and find out who are the young FSAers that are in
the design
field.
We're talking to you.
I could definitely, if there's any of them that are in the design field, I'd love to help you guys out. Just let me know. I love giving back.
Right. Talk about giving back, and this is the last portion of it. But last year we lost one of our dear friends, Alex Ainza. And it's hard to talk about it right now. But we lost a wonderful person who was, totally involved with FSAs and continued on even after, after the time that, he had left school. Some of us, we tried to create our own careers. We have families, and so sometimes, we have the culture in us, and we let somebody else try to take the reins and do those types of things. And Alex did that, and so I think this is one of the reasons why, we have the Filipino Student Alumni Association of Florida. There's a lot of FSAAF. Did you get that? So FSA.
I don't know. That might be.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, but you know, that's why we're here. We want to give back to the community, and he gave back, and this is, you know, a great way. Unfortunately, with his passing, you know, those of us who that day happened to be, you know, at his service, we had this honest, raw talk about what he did, and it made me feel guilty, but in a good way. And so I think this is one of the ways that we want to give back to you. We want to give back to you and be a part of, you know, your growing up. I don't know, maybe I don't remember any alumni other than Mo and some other people who had graduated just a couple
barely,
of years, just barely, but they were still mentors.
Yeah,
they're still mentors, and they were alumni. So they helped me, guide me along, and give me some advice. And you know, I'd probably say the same thing for Varick. And so that's what we're here for. And you know, we feel you know, honored and honestly feel obligated. I almost feel like a parent, that I want to make sure that we give you the best. So sometimes you don't have to go through the trials and tribulations, that we can help guide you. Now, you're going to have to do that because that's life.
Yeah, still have to get your hands dirty.
Right, you still got to get dirty. So, anyway, you know, it's a very nice meeting my compadre, Varick, and, you know, is there any last words for our audience?
I would definitely say drive and passion play a lot of everything that you do. It shows through not only in the work that you produce, but in the people that you meet. Enjoy life and have a good time doing things.
Right.
You know, you don't want to. That's more of a universal message that I like to give out.
That's okay.
Yeah, with all the things, only because like with all the things that I do, people always ask me like, how do you manage staying calm and collected? Right. It's like, because in the end, you know, if something goes wrong, you can always change it, move forward all the time. When you're stagnant, then that's when you're dying. So keep moving forward, keep progressing.
Well, you know, those are some great words from a great man right here next to me. So again, this is Tex Taka for the Filipino Student Alumni Association of Florida, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.